Hello, and welcome to the first episode of the Awkwardly Yours podcast. I'm your host, Nicole, and let's get a little awkward. I think this podcast is for people who are like me. Maybe you're a little awkward, maybe you are just fumbling through life with good intentions and your heart on your sleeve with a joke locked and loaded in your back pocket because if they're laughing, they're distracted from how ridiculous you are. I feel like the way I explain it to my kids, because I have to explain it to my kids, is it feels like everyone else in the world, the general public, got some instruction manual when they're born, and it's like, this is how you behave as a baby, this is how you behave as a preteen, here we go for teenage years, and then adulthood. And I go to these parent teacher meetings, I go to anywhere where there's other functioning adults, and everyone else just like knows where to go, what to do, how to behave. And I just like didn't get the memo, didn't get the instructions, and I am just like winging it. That's the life motto, just wing it. I've been wanging it a long time. And so that is kind of the vibe. And when I think about it, even if there was a place where they were handing out, like, hey, you hit 18, come get your instruction manual, meet us at building A, B, and C. And I got there, it would be so on brand to be in line. And they're like, all right, here's all the instruction manuals. And I'm like, oh, no. Like, I didn't get one. We forgot. Like, there's an extra person here. But also, in all reality, when I think about that, there's probably no way that I would even say that. I'd just be like, oh, I guess they didn't have one for me. There's no way that I'm just like, excuse me. Back here, you forgot me. I would just be like, well, I guess I don't get the instruction manual. So if that sounds like you, sounds like someone you know, or maybe you just need a laugh today, I'm here. And we're going to give this a go. I read this book, and did not read that book. My sister read a book and then told me about it, so it's like kind of like I read it. And she was telling me about this theory. I don't know the name of the book, don't know the author. If she ever tells me who it was or what the book was called, I guess I could ask. I could always post it. But she told me about this story in the book about how we as children just do things for the fun of it. Like when you're a kid and you sit down to color for the first time with other kids, it's just for the fun of coloring. Like you are just blasting that paper with some color. You're doing outside the lines. You're zigzagging. Like if you've ever sat with a toddler, it is just zigzagging all kinds of nonsense. And then somewhere around maybe kindergarten, first grade, I don't really know, it all blends together, but somewhere around there, suddenly, a teacher comes around or an adult or an older sibling, and they're like, oh my gosh, you are incredible, you are an artiste. And then like the kid next to you, maybe not so much, like maybe they're still scribbling, they are still outside the lines, and like they're not getting the same compliment as little artistic Charlotte down the table, where she's getting like the oohs and ahs of all the adults. And suddenly we're like, oh, like there's people who are good at art and there's people who are bad at art. She's good at art, I don't get the oohs and ahs, I'm bad at art. And so we stop doing things, like a learned behavior in childhood is like you stop doing the things that you're not getting the compliments for, and you lean more into what you do get the compliments for, or whatever it is. And so art maybe slowly fades out. Like you're not just sitting around coloring, you're not doing those kind of things because you're not an artist. But it was all about like doing things for the joy of doing it again, instead of doing it for the success, the I'm good at that, I'm the whatever. And when she was telling me about that, I'm not gonna lie, kind of gave me a little bit of life. I was like, wow, how many things do I not do anymore that I just want to like be childlike and do for the fun of it? So this podcast, honestly, not even for you. It's not even for the success. The only people who watch or listen to this podcast are my parents because they're the best and they're my like number one supporters, or my kids because they think it's cool that mom has a podcast. That'll be enough. Like, this isn't for any big, I want to be successful, I want to do this. Listen, it's a very crowded space, I'm aware. But this is for me being a place for an artistic outlet to tell the stories that I love to tell, to have a little space that's just for me, that I do the things that I love to do, which is gab. I'm a gabber. If you haven't noticed, I just love to gab my little head off. So if you are still here, let's buckle up. Let's talk about things. And let's do it for the fun of it. No purpose. Just for the fun, for the joy of the gabbing away. And I figured, how appropriate would it be for me to use my first entrance episode as a little story time, a little awkward story time about awkward hellos. So that's the title of this first episode, is Awkward Hellos. I don't know about you, but there's a couple things I hate, and it's a hello, it's a goodbye, and it's small talk. So like, if you can't just come into my house and hang with me without the awkward hello, the awkward goodbye, and small talk, like, you're draining me. I don't know if it's a me thing. I don't know if it's a you thing. I don't know if it's an instruction manual missing situation. I don't know. I don't have a diagnosis, so we don't know what's wrong with me. Something that I was thinking about is the first time I met my husband's family. I was like sitting here thinking about hellos and like greetings and first times. And I was like, oh my gosh, I have to tell this story about the first time I met my husband's family. We're talking years and years ago, but I was just this sweet little angelic, not really, but we'll go with that, 18, maybe 19-year-old. And I'm from a big Italian family from New York. I'm used to, at like holiday gatherings, when you're like seeing the whole family at one time at one event, you give a hello kiss. It's what you do. I don't make the rules. It's just what you do. It's the one instruction I got, and I follow it to a T. And I love a good hello kiss. Don't know why I'm talking like that when I'm talking about my hello kiss. But it's just what you do in our family. So you go into an event, hello, Uncle Frank, kiss on the cheek. Hello, so-and-so, kiss on the cheek. Hello, so-and-so, kiss on the cheek. And you make a round as your hello. It can be quite overwhelming, to be honest with you. As an introvert, you're like, oh God, here we go. Buckle up. Your lips are going to get sore. You need to make it around the room. And there's always a couple uncles. And if you are from a big family, especially, I don't know how the other families do it, but the Italian families, there's a couple old uncles who think it's appropriate to kiss you on the mouth. And I got to tell you, as a young lady, as a millennial, we need to end that. Like, no young lady wants to kiss her old uncle on the mouth. The cheek is quite enough. So if you are the old uncle, I doubt that is going to be my demographic. But if you're an old uncle and you're listening and you're like, oh my gosh, we're just family. This is how family does it. I'm just saying, you might want to rethink it. Anyway, so that's how I greet people, my family. And then it's a whole goodbye process as well, which can be quite stressful. I'll have to do an episode on Irish goodbyes because those are my favorite. Irish people, you know what's up. As an introvert, it's favorite kind of exit, hands down. But for goodbyes in this family, you also have to do a whole exit ceremony of like, we're leaving. And there's never a situation where like standing at the head of the room, like, bye, we're heading out, is enough. Oh, no. As soon as one person notices, they're like, oh, you're going? I didn't know you were leaving. Come here, give me a hug and kiss. Okay. Then the person next to them has to get a hug and kiss. And then the person next to them, and then you know, you've been all around the room. And your little goodbye, your little see you later, has now turned into a full like 20-minute scenario. And so we could speed this up. It is what it is. That's what I was raised doing and seeing, and I thought was normal. Apparently not so much. So here I am, 18, 19, and I go to meet my husband's family for the first time. Like, I met his mom, I maybe had met his sisters, but not like in an extended room of like different siblings, different parents, grandparents, aunt and uncle. And so I think it was a holiday. I don't remember for sure, but it was some sort of holiday or birthday, something where everyone's gathered around. And we get there while everyone's still sitting in the living room. So it is like everyone's in the room. And I walk in with my boyfriend. And he is not like a super chatty Kathy. So like he's not doing a whole like, this is Nicole, da, 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 da. No, it's like a very basic like, hey everybody, this is Nicole. So that's like my intro. And you're nervous. I think anytime you meet a boyfriend's family or family members or whatever, you're nervous. But then also like being 18, 19, I was young, I was nervous, all the things. And if there's something about me, when I'm nervous, we're going autopilot all the way. And I don't know if you have this, if this is just something about me or anyone else, but there's like a mode, and it is the autopilot mode. And that means all common sense out the window. We're doing it just real rugged style. We are just going to wing this and see what happens. And that's what happened. I got nervous and I went autopilot. What do we know about families? We kiss them hello. Now, what I did not know about my husband's family, and I don't know if this is just German tradition versus Italian tradition. I don't know if this is just the way his family is. I just would say they're probably not as touchy-feely, demonstrative in their love as my family is. And so I go into that room. I am ready to impress. I am ready to just get these people to like me. And I am in autopilot. And so I walk in that room. He's like, this is Nicole. I'm like, hi. And I have him start to do the thing where it's like, this is my mom, this is my dad. And I honestly don't even know if they remember this. It is like scarred into my brain tissue. But I start the process as he says each person's name, like, hi, how are you? Yeah, I kiss him. I go in. We hugging, we kissing, we getting to know each other. And one by one, I just go hug, kiss, hug, kiss, hug, kiss. Grandma, hug, kiss. I am halfway through the room when I realize it is silent in here. No one's talking. It is awkward. And I look around and I notice these people are not loving their hugs and their kisses. It feels weird. And they're all just kind of like, hi. But I'm halfway through the room. There's no turning back now. I have committed to the role. I cannot kiss half a room of people and turn around and be like, deuces, the rest of you, not worth it. No, I'm in it to win it. And I'm halfway through the room. I look back. My then boyfriend, now husband, is looking at me like, what are you doing? And I'm like, well, commit. We got to finish strong. This is who I am. Accept me or leave me behind. And I just followed through. Uncles and aunts and children. Kisses for everyone. Yeah, that's who I am. That's what I do. I just go through life winging it, autopilot, kissing strangers on the mouth. No, I didn't kiss him on the mouth, but I finished strong. I went the rest of the room. And it was like a living room. Everyone was sitting in like a big circle. And I just, one by one, hug, kiss, hug, kiss, hug, kiss. Halfway through, I'm like, oh, they don't like this. This is putting a weird vibe out. Gotta finish. Gotta finish up. So, yeah. I wish I could say that's the only time that's happened. I don't know why you just revert back to like some baser version of yourself when you're feeling uncomfortable. But it happens. It really does. When we moved to Florida, that was another thing I noticed. We're at a Florida transplant. So we came from New York. Now we're in Florida. And it was a really long time. It is hard to make friends. It's hard to make friends, period, I feel like. There's just, like, no way around it. As an adult, it's like, where do you find friends? There's no playground to go hang out. No one wants to, like, step out of their comfort zone. whatever. So there was this group of guys that my husband had been playing basketball with. I'm 2 years into Florida. Like, I'm almost ready to throw in the towel, take me back to New York. I can't do this anymore. It's too hard. I miss my friends, whatever. And again, like, I'm going to like some parent teacher meetings. All those moms seem way too cool for me. They got their life together. They know who to talk to, when to talk to. They know the instructions. I'm like in the room looking for the sign-in sheet. There is no sign-in sheet. Like, they just know what they're doing. And so making friends, tricky work, especially, when you don't know what you're doing. And so he had been playing basketball with these guys on like Tuesday nights, and they'd meet up at the church. They'd play basketball, whatever. And one day we get a dinner invite. One of the couples, like the husband plays basketball, invites us to their house for dinner so we can get to know them. I'm like, this is it. We're in. We got an invite. This is like, gotta make sure we gotta keep our best foot forward, make a good impression. I'm stopping at the store getting flowers because that's what you do, right? You bring a gift, you bring something to the hostess who invited you over. Like, I wanted this to work because I needed a friend. And so we go to this house for dinner, and I'm caught off guard because it's not just the couple who invited us to dinner. There's a rogue couple involved. There's a rogue extra two people. Now that I know my friends who invited me over, because we obviously became best friends, because, how could you not? After that, I was like, how dare you? Once we became close enough, I was like, also that time that you surprised me with extra people, how dare you? Like, that is not how we do things. You cannot just like surprise people with extra people. I did not mentally calculate that there would be an extra couple involved. I did not plan for this. Does it make a difference? No. But as a introverted weirdo, I mentally was prepared to make conversation with two people. I walk in the door and I'm like, oh my gosh, there's strangers in this house. Who are these people? And so what do? We autopilot, because that's what we do. We just flick the switch. And I'm like, okay, there's extra variables. Like, I'm a mathematician. There are extra variables in this room. How do we do it? Okay. Here's her flowers. Smile. Act natural. And here come this couple. They introduce themselves. Hi, how are you? I walk up to this woman's husband. He's like, hello. This is my name. Great to meet you. I go in for a hug. He goes in for the hug as well. In my autopilot, just nonsense. I turn my cheek to give him a kiss. I can't help it. It's how I was raised. And this man visually pulled back. There was a dramatic pullback. And I was like, oh, sorry, I'm Italian. We kiss a lot. I make great first impressions, honestly. People just fall in love with me. This man audibly gasped and pulled back. And I'm just sitting there like, oh, so sorry. And all I can think to myself is, this man thinks I just came on to him. This man thinks that I just tried to plant a wet one on his mouth. And I didn't. It was a cheek. Obviously, I'm a lady. But that does not matter. This man did not want the kiss on the cheek. He was disgusted. He pulled away. No one saw. Just me and him. It was years later when I finally, one day, because obviously became best friends with all these people. It's why we're still in Florida. The Lord heard the cry of my little heart and was like, this girl needs some friends. It was years later when I finally told his wife, hey, did he ever tell you that I totally awkwardly tried to give him a kiss hello the first time we went? She was like, what are you talking about? This man doesn't even remember it. Do you know how many nights that kept me up at night? You know that I went home and relived that moment over oh my gosh, how could I? I went home and told my parents, I tried to kiss the man hello. Why did you raise me like this? Also, side note for everybody, so far, I've been in Florida like 10 years. No one kisses hello here. They're not as touchy-feely. I don't know if it's because Florida's little like melting pot-ish. I would think because they're southern that they would be really touchy-feely because like in the movies, everyone seems really like, give me a hug, blah, blah, blah. I don't know. But not so much. Super friendly, chatty Cathy's. I remember the first time I went to like the gas station and the person wanted to chit chat with me, and I'm like, what are we doing here? I don't have time for this. I've got places to go, bro. That being said, not huge on like the touchy feely, kissing hello, goodbye. And so I've had to really work hard and focus on like really taking that side of me and just trying to throw it away. Only bring it out when I'm visiting family in New York. Still kiss my mom and dad hello every day because, mom and dad, obviously. But she says that he didn't even remember it. It was so unforgettable. That first kiss was so unforgettable for him. Meanwhile, that night I laid in bed like, these people are never going to hang out with me again. They hate me. He's going to go home and tell his wife, like, you will not believe what this lady did. And so let that be your lesson today. No one cares. No one cares. They didn't get the instruction manual either. They're probably fumbling through life. They're just better at hiding it. That's what my therapist tells me. I choose to believe it. Not so sure if it's true because some of y'all look real successful at like life. And I don't even know how to explain that is. That's not money. That's not a job. It's just the way you are. I haven't mastered it yet. Or maybe I don't want to. We're just unmasked, unhinged, unserious. And yeah. I hope you enjoyed this little bit of story time with me. So next time you're out, next time you're being introduced to somebody, maybe go crazy. Maybe just really throw them for a loop and kiss them right on the mouth. This has been Awkwardly Yours. Bye.